CNN just got caught. We said it was going to happen. CNN got caught promoting an app to help illegals track ICE agents. That ain't journalism, man. That's criminal. And now the hammer's coming down. DOJ's involved. ICE raids are everywhere. And Trump just opened Alligator Alcatraz. Strap in, man. This one is wild.
You know, we've had Tom Homan on many times on the program, and he's talked about a dramatic increase in violence against ICE agents.
Yes.
Over 450%. I mean, really scary numbers. If you have or put out an application or a warning system that ICE agents are in the area, are you guilty of obstruction? Are you guilty of aiding and abetting in that case? And by the way, if you're a sanctuary state, does that status aid and abet just the very status of it?
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. And people obviously are ICE agents, all of our federal agents who are working hand in hand on these task forces, our federal agents from the Justice Department could be injured. He's giving a message to criminals where our federal officers are, and he cannot do that. And we are looking at it. We are looking at him, and he better watch out, because that's not a protected speech. That is threatening the lives of our law enforcement officers throughout this country. And shame on CNN. I just saw that for the first time when you showed it, that they're promoting that app. That's shame on them for doing that. That could hurt our law enforcement officers who are out there protecting them, protecting all of us every single day.
Yes. So let me get this straight. These people built an app that lets illegals figure out exactly where ICE agents are while they're working. Yeah, that's I agree. That's not just dangerous, that's treasonous. That's putting officers, their families, and every law-abiding citizen at risk. And of course, who's out here pushing it? CNN. Yes, y'all remember we reviewed the clip. I played it the last CNN video we did. These folks are doing anything to protect illegal immigrants. I don't understand it. Even if it means putting American lives on the line. I wish I was making this up. Let Tom Homan speak about it.
House is calling out CNN and that ICE spotting app that shows agents' locations on a map. Watch this, please.
There's been a 500% increase in violence against ICE agents, law enforcement officers across the country who are just simply trying to do their jobs and remove public safety threats from our communities. And that's something we as Americans, including journalists at CNN who live in many of these cities where illegal aliens are hiding, certainly it's unacceptable that a major network would promote such an app that is encouraging violence against law enforcement officers who are trying to keep our country safe.
But Tom Homan, the question is, does that app interfere with deportations? And if so, what do you do about it?
Absolutely it does, and it angers me. Look, I've been doing this since 1984, Stuart. I've been doing this longer than anybody around here. And I just can't believe we're in a place where, you know, a TV network like CNN is talking about this app and educating people on the existence of this app. ICE law enforcement officers, like I said earlier, they are concentrating on public safety threats and national security threats. This is a dangerous job. And this app is going to give the bad guy heads up that we're coming, which means more bad guys are going to escape arrest, which makes this country less safe, which is a public safety issue. And on top of that, it's only a matter of time for a bad guy, which is like someone who threw a Molotov cocktail at officers in L.A., who the assaults against ICE officers up over 500%. It's a matter of time before someone uses this app and ambushes ICE officers. This is something we cannot tolerate, we can't stand for, so we're calling them out, and I'm begging the Department of Justice to look into this and hold people accountable. This puts ICE officers at great risk. We're at a place in time where the Democrats are vilifying ICE as racist and Nazis. And on top of this app, I'm scared to death for the ICE officers who go out there every day, put their lives on the line. Something needs to be done. I'm begging DOJ to look in this, take some action.
Tom Homan, that's right. Thank you very much for being on the show today. Hope we can come back again soon. Thank you, Tom.
Right, thank you.
Yep. He said it, and he's right. You don't get to promote tools that help criminals avoid arrest, then hide behind free speech. That's obstruction. That's aiding and abetting. Straight up. But it gets worse. Because CNN might not only be in trouble with the public, they're obviously in trouble with the law. Watch this.
And Madam Secretary, CNN yesterday pushed an app that lets you track where ICE agents are. Tom Homan was saying that perhaps CNN should be prosecuted for that. That's obstruction of law enforcement. Your response?
Yeah, we're working with the Department of Justice to see if we can prosecute them for that, because what they're doing is actively encouraging people to avoid law enforcement activities, operations, and we're going to actually go after them and prosecute them with the partnership of Pam if we can, because what they're doing we believe is illegal.
And they may be prosecuted also for having given false reports on the attack in Iran. They've given totally false reports. It was totally obliterated, and our people have to be celebrated, not come home and say, what do you mean we didn't hit the target? We hit the target first. You know, the pilots came home and they said we hit the target first. So they may be very well prosecuted for that. What they did there we think is totally illegal. Okay, let's go. Follow us. Hi, Brian. You all right? The boyfriend, very lucky.
Yeah, y'all.
Oh, really?
You
Works for who?
As y'all see it, it is now official. This ain't just political outrage anymore. The DOJ is looking into real charges. And look, while CNN is out here defending criminals, ICE is still doing the job. Watch how the real ones move.
Man, keep doing your job, bro. It done got out of control. Keep doing your job. Woo, man, y'all are not playing today, huh? Woo. Oh, they getting them. They getting them. They getting them all out of here. They got the Home Depot set up. Look. It's on Avenue, the Home Depot. They getting them. They locking them down. Listen. You can't come in a country and just live like you free. They getting them.
Man, that's what America looks like, y'all. So while the left out here and they cry about enforcement, you got people out here actually thanking them. It was important for me to show this video today because I always show a mixture of hate and conflict. Let me show y'all why ICE is turning up so heavy right now. Because Trump, he just dropped something that just changed the game completely.
And it's a great honor to be deep in Florida, the Florida Everglades, to open America's newest migrant detention center. It's incredibly built, and you're seeing that yourself. That's why I said, let the press join us on our walk so they can see what's happening. It's known as Alligator Alcatraz, which is very appropriate because I looked outside and that's not a place I want to go hiking anytime soon. But very soon this facility will house some of the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet. We're surrounded by miles of treacherous swampland, and the only way out is really deportation. And a lot of these people are self-deporting back to their country where they came from. Quite a few. We're amazed at actually the number. We took the FEMA money that Joe Biden allocated to pay for the free luxury hotel rooms, where he's paying hundreds of millions of dollars in New York City, and we used it to build this project. And Your Honor, was just a little fraction of that money. The money they spent on that project, I happen to know the real estate developer. He's he never really made that much, but he became very wealthy. With luxury, he didn't do well. With people that are not exactly luxury, he's made a fortune.
Oh, yeah, by the way, this ain't no sanctuary city. This is Alligator Alcatraz, a federal detention center surrounded by miles, from what I hear, of swamp and gators. So trying to escape that thing only going to result in bites. I don't know if you can swim away and run away from no gators, man. I'm just saying, no escape, no games. And guess what? They already got new residents lined up, y'all.
A federal search warrant to search the premises. So whoever that needs to be, I need to come ASAP.
This one, Billy.
Federal search warrant to search the premises. So whoever.
This post says these are the first tenants of Alligator Alcatraz. First tenants, delivered. Felonies, identity theft. This is exactly who CNN wants to protect. But guess what? It didn't stop here. Trump and DeSantis took it one step further.
This is, we're offering up our National Guard and other folks in Florida to be deputized to be immigration judges. We're working with the Department of Justice for the approvals. I'm sure Pam will approve. But then I'll have a National Guard judge advocate here. Someone has a notice to appear. Biden would tell them to come back in 3 years and appear. Now you'll be able to appear in like a day or two, so they're not going to be detained, hopefully, for all that long. We'll have people here in this facility that can make, it's a bureaucracy. The president's got to deal with the bureaucracy. Now, that Supreme Court ruling was good because that's going to allow him to be able to exercise Article 2 the way founders intended, but you still have bureaucracy. So we want to cut through that so that we have an efficient operation between Florida and DHS to get the removal of these illegals done. This is, we're offering up our National Guard.
3 years to get deported? That's just crazy. But nope. Try 3 days now. Ain't no more 3 years. Florida is not playing around, and neither is Trump. And of course, while all this is happening, Trump had to remind folks exactly why he's living rent-free in Biden's head. Watch this.
I think our viewers at home should note that this is air-conditioned facility, so if any of the news claims they're keeping them out in the hot, humid South Florida, that is wrong. It's probably 62 degrees here.
To be honest.
Hey,
Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here, that son of a bitch.
Man. That was straight savage. Oh, man. But, of course, the left ain't taking this too well, y'all. Look at this absolute meltdown that he's having about the facility.
Alligator Alcatraz is a violation of human rights. There's no way to argue that. Building pop-up trailers in the middle of the Everglades, dubbing it Alligator Alcatraz, and then housing 5,000 immigrants in these buildings when there's no running water, there's no air conditioning to combat the excessive heats that actually happen in the Everglades is absolutely a crime against humanity. Because in case you didn't realize, the Everglades has temperatures of 105 to 115 on an average in the summer. Florida is a hot state. The reality of it is this: locking up immigrants without due process, without actually having them the right to afford any type of defense, is a violation of the Constitution. It's also a violation of the Supreme Court's ruling 9-0 that all individuals have the right to due process, that you cannot suspend habeas corpus. But this administration is. This administration has decided to violate the Geneva Convention, has decided to violate human rights, and is deciding to put 5,000 immigrants in pop-up cages out in the Everglades, thinks it's justice. It's not justice. It's inhumane. It's human trafficking. And it is a travesty to think that we have this type of behavior on U.S. soil. Guess what? We have allegations in other detention centers across the country that ICE agents are denying people the right to take a shower for 10 to 15 days. What's going to happen when they're in the middle of the swamp, there's no running water, that all of the supplies have to be trucked in, that have no air conditioning and can fly away when a hurricane finally hits? And all to think that we're using our FEMA money to actually fund this instead of using that FEMA money to, aid in the disasters that have happened across the country. If you're upset and outraged by this, then you need to share this. Leave a comment of disgust, because silence is complicity. Unity and strength, numbers, are what's going to help change this.
Dude, I'm about to say, you said bye, now leave, okay? Sheesh. I feel like, get it over with. Because, now y'all care about living conditions. Where was this energy when Americans were homeless? What is it for the homeless today? for the veterans who can't get shelter. It's funny how that works. Cry louder. Cry louder. Because this right here, this is law and order in full effect. And trust me, it's only just getting started. Y'all, look how fast they built this thing. They built it in 8 days. Could have been done in 72 hours if the government had gotten out the way. This ain't just a detention center either. It's a message. And the message is simple. If you break the law, America's coming for you. No more games. And we already know it's air conditioned. We already know it's air conditioned in there. So that debunks that God's claim off top. And man, if y'all tired of the lies in the media protecting criminals and tired of the attacks on law enforcement, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Y'all be safe. Go check out somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to everybody involved, man, making our country that much more safer. Peace.